Van Helsing's to the dungeon lair. Quick. Van Helsing's. We have to live to 1,000 years old. Quick, Van Helsing's. We have to live to 1,000 years old, even if I have to be like a young Schwarzenegger. I don't want to say his name. It sounds like he's making fun of a minority. Schwarzenegger. Because he is the one who is a Schwarz. Now, I am the vampire who is strong, who will live to be 1,000. No. Here's the thing, is I'm a human, and all of us on earth are humans. There are no real vampires. It would be in the Bible if there were. And everything in the Bible is true, and all we need to believe in God and Jesus. We're not warned of any strange creatures besides demons and the devil who don't physically interact with us on earth. Those are for wicked people in hell to interact with and be tormented by in hell forever after this life. The only creatures that are human beings, beasts and creatures that we know of on this earth, maybe some undiscovered, they're about the same, like in the deep sea or something. And angels, God and Jesus, whatever angels or creatures are in the heavens, that are all good, all kind and good creatures in the heavens. And there are going to be some who rise up during the tribulation who are evil from hell. And one of them is going to be the false prophet. And it's going to be like an avatar, like a fake, like CGI kind of person who rises up. It's going to be the false prophet. And there'll be these huge locusts who have a woman's face, and they sting people right in the chest. And they're paralyzed for a month. And something happened to me outside, or in a dream, and I got paralyzed for a month. But it wasn't by one of those creatures. So, here's the cool thing. Hi. If we can live to 1,000 years old, we don't really have to have any problems, pretty much. What would go wrong? Our health would be, will be amazing if we get to live to 1,000. But should we just let our bodies die? Because think about this, I'm already 46. By the time you get to 60, those people can sometimes barely do things. They feel so weak and kind of old. 60 used to be old even in the 70s or 80s. Remember when people were 60-something in the 80s? They were old. Those were like the grandparents. And nowadays, my mom and dad are 78. They're 18 years older than 60. And they're young feeling, I think. I think they're doing okay. They don't have any problems. But I got a thought today about all these people who are like 60 or in their 60s, and it can be old. And if you're in your 40s, you're pretty close to being 60 already. And you may be dead before you get to your 60s, but you probably won't. You'll probably live, I don't know. I mean, it's likely that you'll live to be 60-something. I think maybe 30 or 40% of everyone dies by the time they're in their 60s, because the average life expectancy in the United States is 76 years old, or a little bit older than 76. That's the average life expectancy. So some people are probably most people may die by the time they're in their 70s, I think. And so that means most of us will be dead by their 70s, somewhere in their 70s, whether it's 79 or 70 or 72 or 78 or 79. And by the time we're 80, not that many people live that long. So it's a pretty fast life. If you think about people, if you think about people doing things the wrong way, it's actually really slow. It can go by really slowly. But once you get older, it goes by faster than normal. It goes by faster than normal. That's what Mammy said, Danica's great-grandmother. She said when you start getting much older, it goes by faster and faster as you get older. That's weird. That's what she said. But you can have a long feeling life. Like my mom and dad, they remember being little kids in the 50s. And they said it was totally different. It was a totally different world and place and everything from how it is now. That was back in the 50s, and it was so long ago. They said it was like a totally different time, and things are way different now. So it can feel like time goes by really slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Van Helsing's. Van Helsing's. Shh, listen. Quick. Let's blow away into the vampires' flying zone. The bats are turned into vampires at night. No. That would be awesome if there were vampires. There are no vampires. But if we live to be 1,000, if we can find the technology to live as long as 1,000 years, then what would we be worried about on Earth? What could they possibly do to anyone? You know, it's not like you're going to kill anybody and end up, you know, like hurting anyone too badly and end up in prison or jail or something like that. You know, unless you have some crazy problem with that. But why would you ever hurt anybody? So you wouldn't have to worry about being in prison for a bunch of it. That wouldn't ever be a worry. Because why would you ever break the law anyway? And so, what worries would you have? Getting cancer? Who cares? It wouldn't even kill you. It would go right away if you got to live to be 1,000 years old. So how can we live to be 1,000 years old? Van Helsing's. Let's go out this way, Helsing's. There's a bedroom in there. Somebody could live in there. I guess sweep the floor and then maybe put a tile floor and somebody can live in there. We could have a bedroom. And Helsing's. It's really just for me and Danica and the kids and someone else. I don't know who. Maybe Al, maybe others. I don't know who. Boring. Same old stuff you've heard, right, on my channel. Let's go back in. Helsing's. Van Helsing's. Van Helsing's. Van Helsing's. You know what that is?